Ciao, Juventus fans. Welcome back to the channel. I don't know about you, but I'm still riding high from yesterday and the events, either last night, whatever you want to call it. Regardless, Italy is in the final of the Euro 2020, even though it's 2021, whatever. I'm excited. We're still happy. We're still celebrating. I'm sure you guys are still doing it. I'm sure a lot of you called into work today. Regardless, we still got a new show for you today. Not as much news as some other days, but one big piece that really excites me. We'll get into it. Basically, for a quick rundown and recap of what we're going to have today, we're going to talk Bernardeschi. We're going to talk about his situation with the club, even after scoring a much-needed penalty last night. Hey, our boy Bernardeschi actually did what he needed to do. We've got Ronaldo and the situation with him. What's coming up with him? What is the situation? We'll get an update there. We got Archer and his situation. We're talking goalkeeper. And then we've got one big name, at least big for me, potentially reemerging as a possible target for Juventus for this summer mercado. Let's see where it goes. Stay tuned and we'll fill you in now. Ciao, Bianconeri. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Wednesday, July 7th, 2021. And before we do anything, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell to stay notified with all our updates as they come out right away. So let's just jump into it. Not a ton to talk about, but first we'll start off with, let's just talk about last night. Let's talk about our boy Federico Chiesa and everything that he got done for the club. He continues to step up in big moments when, I guess you still call it a club, even though it's not a club, for the national team. You know what I meant. He steps up for the national team when he's needed most. When they inject him in, a couple games ago, he came in, scored that much needed goal, and then here he comes in today, right when you think, we see Berardi warming up on the sidelines. You see all that happening. Luckily, Roberto Mancini refuses to do any kind of substitutions until the 60th minute mark, because right at that 60th minute, or right under, I guess it was in the 60th minute, as it happened, Chiesa scored the opening goal. Of course, we know our other boy, Alvaro Morata, almost had to crush our dreams and our hearts and our goals. Scored that the equalizing goal in the 80th minute, sending and finally, overtime, sending to penalties. You know how it played out. But as a Juventus fan, I don't know what kind of emotions I was feeling at that time. Torn between, excitement for Chiesa. And then also there was part of me, we've seen what Alvaro Morata has dealt with this, not offseason, but this Euro cycle, and like the abuse that he's dealt with from Spanish fans, threatening his family, his kids and all of that. So, just happy for him that he was able to score. Unfortunate for him, fortunate for Italy that it ended on a missed penalty from him that was capitalized on and finished by Jorginho's perfect penalty take. But, regardless, happy the way it worked out. Hopefully, Spaniards are going easy on Morata, but it's just good to see that he is, performing on the big stage, maybe more than we ever thought he would, given his, recent, I don't want to say downturn, but when it came to, his output when it came to the Spanish national team. Happy for both guys. Both have had a great international play this season. But most importantly, Italy's going to the final. Who will they take on? Today they play. Today the match is played between Denmark and England. That'll determine that. I'm feeling like it'll be England. Kind of hope it's not, just because they may have the home field advantage and all that going on with it. Regardless, I think this Azzurri team, really, whatever Roberto Mancini has done, he's really injected into the club. I feel confident that they can get this done and that they can bring the hardware home for the first time since 1968, I believe. So anyway, I'm excited about that. Also, our boy Federico Chiesa, I think I already had the graphic up, but he won the most valuable player or whatever award. He was awarded that. I think it's the second time he's gotten it during the Euro. So it's great just to see Juventus players continue to provide for the teams. It's not the reason why I'm a Juventus fan, but the reason why, I guess kind of started out, I started out with the Azzurri because here in America, that's mostly what you saw. You didn't really see a lot of the clubs. And it was thanks to those Juventus players that I became a Juventus fan, that I'm here today talking about this. Just the pride and joy it brings to my heart when I think about my great-grandparent, my great-grandfather, his love for Italy and all that goes on with that. Just excited. Anyway, I'm glad we talked about that. I rambled on long enough about that. Again, we're going to be celebrating, and then we turn our attention after tonight to see who they will be playing, and then we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I have faith in this team that they can get it done and bring it home regardless. Anyway, let's jump into the news. First off, we'll talk about our guy Federico Bernardeschi. Nicolo Ballas is saying that Bernardeschi remains for sale. At the end of the Euro, there will be a meeting between Juventus and Raiola. The offers so far do not convince Federico to leave Turin. While the club does not want to renew his contract, the exchange with Romagnoli remains frozen. Sadi was thinking about him, but the relationship between Juve and Lazio does not facilitate any market deals between both clubs. As we know, both clubs don't have a great relationship. That's obviously what they're saying. We talked about the situation with trying to get SMS from them. We talked about all these little different plays. They do not favor Juventus even more after all the stuff that's been going on with the Super League. So as it stands right now, no deal's going to happen when it comes to Lazio and Sadi and them. We'll see what happens with Bernardeschi. They talked about it before, too, about how Allegri may try to work him in, see what he can do with the player. He's pretty confident that he can actually make something out of him, or at least make him a serviceable player in his scheme. We'll watch and we'll see what happens. I think this will be something that'll be ongoing. I don't think he's getting sold this summer mercado. I think all the reports have been that he will be staying for a year, and then we'll see what happens. Do they extend him at the end of the year? We'll see. Maybe Bernardeschi looks like a different player. I'm not optimistic about it, but we'll see what happens there. And then we've got the Ronaldo situation to talk about. This is Romeo Agresti, who is saying that Jorge Mendes is expected to meet with Juventus soon to discuss the future of Ronaldo. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Sorry, otherwise I'm going to be coughing all over this thing. But again, not a lot to go on there when it comes to the Ronaldo situation. Just basically saying that, it'll be this week, and then we'll maybe have an update. Are the rumors of a possible extension being given? What are the details of that? Is he willing to come down on his wage, or is he just wanting to extend? And then we'll see what happens next year. I don't know. Maybe he sees PSG is not a viable option, especially with Mbappe and Neymar both staying there. We'll keep an eye on it. I was, again, hoping for the Man United swap deal, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Let me know. I know I've heard a few of your opinions when it comes to Ronaldo. I know, we have a diverse group. We have, pro Ronaldo and anti-Ronaldo fans. I want to hear your opinions when it comes to this. For the majority, it's, at this point, I think a lot of people when it comes to Juventus, unfortunately, and I'm not speaking for myself right now, but I've just seen a lot overall that are just kind of ready to move on and start the next chapter when it comes to Juventus. Then we move on. Tudo Sport is talking about Archer, saying that he will join the team next week and the calcification will be evaluated. The test will be during the friendly matches. If the leg still causes pain, surgery will be planned. Kind of talked about this already last few days. My opinion on it. Not excited about the timeline, the way he decided to go about this. But at this point, there's nothing else we can do. We'll see how he does. Hopefully, he feels fine and can use it. If not, he'll be enjoying the comforts of J Medical for the next couple months or so. And then we've got a little Perin news about our goalkeeper. La Repubblica is saying that Genoa would like to bring Perin back on loan. However, Juventus have been clear that they want to sell. The player is out of contract next season. A loan deal is not an option. So basically, I like this. I like that Juventus is putting their foot down. Like, no, we're not going to loan you out this player for you to spend however much money on him, especially if you're going to get him cheaper. And Juventus is whatever, we're not going to do any deals. Basically, buy the player or you don't get him next season. I'm for that. Otherwise, I'm sorry, Perin, sit on the bench, be that second goalkeeper. If Sirigu isn't coming in, you signed a deal with Juventus. This is how it works. I don't know. I'm happy with it. I think the deal's good. I think bring him back to Juventus, let him sit on the bench if he's not willing to go. But if somebody wants him, you got to pay the full price, as it stands. And then the last news of the day that I really have, the most important news to me is that it's regarding Moise Kean, my boy Moise Kean. I love him. He's a player that I miss, a player that I was upset when he was sold to Everton. But Sky Sports UK is reporting that PSG and Everton are not finding an agreement for Kean. PSG would like to bring him back on loan, while Everton wanted a permanent deal. That's why Juventus is back in the picture. The club is still interested. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, because until I hear more come from this, right now it may just be a tactical issue to be like, hey, Juventus is interested. If you're not willing to pay this, whatever. Kind of odd that now, after he performed and he, did so well for PSG last year, that they really didn't focus on him at all. But look at all the players they've been bringing in: Donnarumma, Ramos, all those players. It's Hakimi. It's insane the amount of money, and it's honestly, I don't need to go on a PSG rant again. I was about to say how it's an affront to the entire league, or not when I say league, European football at all, that they're able to get players like this. No other club is able to do this. That even Manchester United is going in and just picking what they want from the buffet and just picking it out there. So it's my thoughts, Donnarumma, when she was at Juventus, whatever. But it's ridiculous. Hopefully, if they really can't pay for him, I'm happy that they can't pay for one guy that I feel like it should be an Italian stable. Yes, maybe he has similar attitude issues. I don't know, I don't think similar exactly to Balotelli, but, I would love to see him back at Juventus. We know he grew up through the system at Juventus. I think he still has positive feelings and would be happy to come back to Juventus. We'll see. We'll just keep it on. We'll keep it monitored for now and see what happens there. But Moise Kean, if you're asking me, please have him be that second signing for Juventus. Bring him back. That would make me happy, especially if you're looking for a young, proven striker. I mean, he is it. He's looked phenomenal the last few times that I've seen him, and I think he would be a big benefit to Juventus. So let me know your thoughts. Do you want Moise Kean back? Do you want we'll go through this real quick. Do you want Moise Kean back? Bernardeschi, I know most of you don't like him. I know about 99.9% of you want him gone. Ronaldo, situation with him. A lot of you have been pretty vocal about that. And then Perin. Perin's one that I'm kind of interested to hear you all talk about it, just because it's not a super polarizing topic like Ronaldo is or Bernardeschi. I want to know what your thoughts about him. Perin, would you be okay with him coming in? Do you just want him sold? Or do you think that we should loan him out for some godforsaken reason? But regardless, that's all the news I have for you today. Be sure to check in with us tomorrow to get the latest rundown of all things Juventus. We'll get you the latest news as soon as it's hot and fresh. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that bell as well to stay updated and get notified as soon as our latest video drops. Follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. And Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri, and Forza Azzurri.